How can a 75-year-old woman be pregnant? Is it a miracle, or is something far more disturbing hiding behind closed doors at Silver Oaks Nursing Home? Nestled just outside New York City, Silver Oaks is known as one of the most expensive and exclusive elder care facilities in the country, charging upwards of $6,000 a month for its five-star treatment. But when Dr. Emily Carter, the head physician, notices unusual symptoms in Eleanor Thompson, a sharp-witted widow who's been living quietly at Silver Oaks for 3 years, her world is turned upside down. Tests reveal what no one could have imagined. Ellie is pregnant. The news spreads like wildfire through the halls. Staff whisper in shock, families demand answers, and the nursing home's polished image starts to crack. How is this even possible? Was this an error, a cruel joke, or something sinister lurking beneath the surface? What secrets does Ellie hold, and who could possibly be responsible for this impossible pregnancy? The truth is more tangled than anyone expects, and it's about to unravel everything. Stay with us, because the next chapter will reveal the first cracks in Silver Oaks' perfect facade. No one could have predicted Eleanor Thompson's story would take such a shocking turn. At 75 years old, Eleanor was more than just a resident at Silver Oaks Nursing Home. She was a woman with a life story full of quiet resilience, hidden pain, and unspoken secrets. A widow for over a decade, Eleanor raised 3 children on her own, once a beloved high school teacher whose warm smile and gentle nature made her a favorite in the community. Yet beneath that calm exterior, there was something no one fully understood. A mysterious strength mixed with a guarded sorrow. Dr. Emily Carter had known Eleanor for years. As the head physician at Silver Oaks, Emily prided herself on her dedication to the residents, especially those like Eleanor who reminded her of her own grandmother. Emily was a mother herself, juggling the demands of her career and raising a young daughter, and she approached her job with a fierce compassion. But when the pregnancy news surfaced, Emily's instincts screamed that something was deeply wrong. There was no simple explanation for a 75-year-old woman suddenly showing signs of pregnancy, and Emily refused to accept the situation at face value. The nursing home was overseen by Richard Hayes, a man whose presence loomed large over Silver Oaks. At 50, Richard carried the weight of responsibility with a quiet, intimidating authority. He rarely spoke more than necessary, his sharp eyes missing nothing. Rumors swirled among the staff. Some said he ran a tight ship to maintain the home's reputation. Others whispered that he might be hiding more than just budget reports. His control over the employees was undeniable, and many walked on eggshells around him, especially when the scandal around Eleanor began to unfold. Within the walls of Silver Oaks, staff loyalties were divided. Some nurses had grown fond of Eleanor, seeing her as more than just a patient, a woman deserving dignity and care. Others, however, seemed reluctant to confront the uncomfortable truths. Whispers filled the corridors, hushed conversations that hinted at secrets being buried, perhaps to protect the home's image or shield someone from blame. Meanwhile, Eleanor's children found themselves caught in a storm of disbelief and anger. How could their mother be pregnant at this age? Some accused her of confusion, others of deception. The tension between them was palpable. Old wounds reopened, accusations flew, and their relationships frayed under the weight of suspicion and fear. They struggled not only to comprehend the impossible situation, but to protect their own reputations from the scandal threatening to engulf their family. As Emily dug deeper, the tangled web of relationships and hidden motives grew more complex. Eleanor, with her quiet demeanor, held her cards close, revealing little but hinting at a past filled with shadows. Richard's silent control raised more questions than answers. The staff's divided loyalties painted a picture of a home struggling to keep its facade intact. And Eleanor's children, torn between love and doubt, added yet another layer of conflict. In the midst of all this, a single unanswered question lingered in the air. Who was responsible for this impossible pregnancy? And what dark secrets was Silver Oaks desperate to keep hidden? Just when it seemed the truth might finally surface, an unexpected visitor arrived, someone who would change everything and force all of them to face the consequences they'd been running from. No one was prepared for what Dr. Emily Carter uncovered next. Determined to find answers, she dove deeper, demanding to review security footage and Eleanor's medical records, searching for any clue that could explain the impossible pregnancy. What she found shattered the fragile peace at Silver Oaks. At just past midnight, a shadow moved silently down the hallway, captured on a grainy security camera. A man, unknown to staff and residents alike, slipped quietly into Eleanor's room. The footage was brief, but chilling. Whoever he was, his presence in the heart of the nursing home in the dead of night raised terrifying questions. Who was this stranger? And what did he want with Eleanor? When Dr. Carter confronted the nursing home's management with the evidence, the fallout was immediate. Eleanor's children were outraged, their shock turning quickly to fury. They accused Silver Oaks of failing to protect their mother, raising fears of abuse in a place meant for safety and care. Their voices echoed through the halls. How could this happen under your watch? Where was the security? The compassion? But Richard Hayes, the nursing home's manager, met the accusations with cold denial. He dismissed the footage as nothing more than a glitch, a misinterpretation. His tight-lipped refusal to cooperate sparked division among the staff. Some stood by him, while others whispered about a cover-up brewing beneath the polished surface. Tensions mounted, and trust began to crumble. Meanwhile, Eleanor herself withdrew, her once steady presence now marked by fear and silence. She stopped answering questions, avoided visitors, and seemed trapped in a silent battle she wouldn't or couldn't share. Was she a victim, terrified and powerless? Or was there something more complicated beneath her quiet facade? The doors of Silver Oaks had closed behind this secret, but the truth refused to stay hidden. And as whispers turned to accusations, one chilling question lingered in the air. Was Eleanor a victim caught in a nightmare, or a conspirator in a story no one dared to tell? Eleanor's sudden changes didn't go unnoticed. It started with the subtle signs, a lingering fatigue that made her sit down more often, clutching her abdomen with a confused grimace. Then came the nausea, the kind that made her eyes water and her steps slow. Staff at Silver Oaks exchanged worried glances. Could it be a stomach bug? Maybe just the flu, one nurse whispered. But Dr. Emily Carter wasn't convinced. Something about Eleanor's symptoms was too precise, too strange. Then the tests came back. The ultrasound image on the screen didn't lie. There, in black and white, was undeniable proof. Eleanor was 3 months pregnant. The news hit like a thunderclap in the quiet halls of the nursing home. No one was prepared for this. A 75-year-old woman pregnant? The word miracle was whispered, but underneath it was something darker. A question that froze everyone's breath. Eleanor's children arrived in waves. 3 grown adults brought more skepticism than comfort. Their eyes scanned their mother with disbelief, their voices edged with anger. "Mom, are you sure you're not confused? This can't be real," her eldest son said, his tone brittle. Her daughter's tears mixed with frustration. "Is this some kind of joke? Are you trying to hurt us?" Their doubt wasn't just about the pregnancy. It was about Eleanor herself, about secrets they'd never known, fears they'd buried deep. Amid the chaos, strange little details began to surface. Eleanor was often seen speaking on the phone in hushed tones, her eyes flickering with something no one could understand. Fear, guilt, or maybe hope. And late one night, a shadow moved near her room. A man's silhouette caught by a surveillance camera, but quickly erased from the official footage. Staff whispered about mysterious visitors, about broken trust in the very place that promised safety. Who was that man? What did their conversations mean? Was this pregnancy just the tip of a much darker secret lurking within Silver Oaks? The answers were out there, tangled in half-truths and silent fears, waiting to be uncovered. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. A message left behind by Eleanor herself, hidden where only the bravest would dare to look. "I never imagined this story would reach you like this. with all its broken pieces and silent scars. When the law finally stepped in, Richard and Linda were held accountable. Justice, slow but relentless, began to weave its way through the shadows that had long hidden the truth. But justice alone doesn't heal the wounds left behind. The day I gave birth, I held a miracle in my arms. A tiny life born against all odds. That child became more than just a baby. It became a beacon of hope, a testament that even in the darkest places, light can break through. The community whispered about the miracle baby from Silver Oaks, but to me, this little one was a promise, a second chance at love and redemption. My children, once distant and filled with doubt, started to find their way back. Slowly, like fragile threads being woven together, our family began to mend. Forgiveness wasn't easy. There were words left unspoken, hurts that still lingered. But in their eyes, I saw the flicker of understanding, a willingness to believe again. Dr. Emily Carter, a guardian in this storm, continued her work, pushing boundaries in regenerative medicine, hoping that my story could open doors for others like me. Her compassion gave me strength, reminding me that even when the world feels cold, there are those who fight to bring warmth. As I watch my child sleep peacefully, I'm filled with a love so fierce it aches. But beneath that love lies a quiet sorrow. For the past, I can't change. For the moments lost, for the silence that still haunts me. This story isn't just about what happened. It's about what lingers after the dust settles. The feelings we carry when there's no one left to hear them. If any part of this story echoes in your heart, if you've ever felt the weight of silence or the sting of betrayal, know you're not alone. Sometimes sharing is the first step toward healing. So if you felt something here, a spark of pain, hope, or resilience, please leave a comment. Let's start a conversation. And if you want to walk this path with us, hit that like button and subscribe to Revenge Her Way. Because sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply listen and be heard. Linda was the last person anyone suspected. A nurse with years at Silver Oaks, always calm, always polite. She was practically part of the family there. But Dr. Emily Carter's relentless digging revealed a darker truth. Linda wasn't just a caregiver. She was a keeper of secrets. Quiet whispers among the staff hinted at her involvement in more than just routine duties. Emily found discrepancies in patient records, strange alterations in Eleanor's file, and evasive answers when questioned. It became clear Linda was working with Richard Hayes, the manager, to bury evidence and keep the scandal under wraps. This alliance between nurse and manager wasn't just a coincidence. The deeper Emily probed, the more tangled the web became. Fake reports to cover up injuries, deleted surveillance footage, and a pattern of ignoring complaints from residents painted a picture of a nursing home protecting itself at all costs. Employees who dared to speak up were silenced, pressured into complicity. The place that promised care was hiding a system designed to evade responsibility. Amid the chaos, Eleanor's voice finally broke through the silence. In moments of fragile honesty, she revealed a truth no one expected. She had been attacked, taken advantage of while vulnerable and unconscious. But alongside this horror was another secret she carried close to her heart. Eleanor had undergone an experimental regenerative treatment, a radical medical breakthrough aimed at reversing aging and repairing damaged tissue. It was this treatment, rare and controversial, that made her pregnancy medically possible. A miracle shadowed by pain. Her confession unveiled a storm inside her, grief for what was lost, fear of what was to come, and a fierce hope clinging to the possibility of new life. Eleanor, once quiet and reserved, showed a fierce determination born from years of solitude and unfulfilled dreams. The child growing inside her was more than a surprise. It was a symbol of resilience and a final chance at motherhood she never thought she'd have. But as the truth spilled out, so did the fractures within Silver Oaks. Loyalties shattered, alliances crumbled, and the battle for justice grew fiercer. The question lingered like a knife's edge. Would the truth be enough to break through the lies? Could justice find its way through the darkness that had gripped this home for too long? Or would the shadows swallow it all, leaving Eleanor's story buried forever?